I think I'm live. Hello, hello, my Zen friends. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I got my little Santa hat on for the holidays. So we'll see how long I can last. Kind of have to commit to the hat because otherwise you have hat hair. So we're gonna endure this weekend and the weekend's coming up. So let me adjust. Got a little fuzzy there. So, hello, everybody. Is it on straight? Yeah, there we go. So, hello, hello. Happy weekend to you all. Thank you so much for being here. Excited to see what messages come through from Spirit this evening. But before we jump into all that, let us bring in some beautiful love energy. We'll start off by grounding ourselves, coming back to this moment um, by taking a big deep breath in and holding it for as long as you feel comfortable, and then a slow exhale, just focusing on the here and now, getting out of the past, out of the fear or connection to the future, the outside world, all the chaos, anything in the outside. Just come back to this moment into a place of peace. And then we'll bring in the singing bowl as well. So we'll begin here by with a big deep breath. So if you want to join me, let's do that. So just hold it for as long as you feel comfortable. Don't hurt yourself. All right, here we go. Big deep breath in. Beautiful. We'll hit the singing bowl 3 times, and as I do that, we can just imagine this beautiful love energy either flowing down into us or igniting in our heart and moving outward, and it goes into our mental body, all our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. It floods through all of our emotions, our physical bodies, our energetic bodies, and then filling up the outside world, letting it do whatever it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet there. So we will do that. Something we can do to help raise our love vibration immediately, which I talk about, of course, is gratitude. Just one little thing that we're grateful for in the moment. It's such a powerful energy, counteracts so much of our lower vibrational energy that is constantly trying to draw us to the outside world. So just one moment of focus on gratitude counterbalances so much of the lower vibration that we experience throughout the day. So as we do that, it just raises our love vibration, puts us in that energy of receiving, and it opens up the conduits of abundance and source that attract things to us that we're grateful for. So it's a win, 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 win. All right. So we'll hit this 3 times. I'm not sure how loud it will be. So beware of your ears and your volume as I begin. So remember gratitude. beautiful, beautiful. She is singing and singing and singing. My goodness. A lot of beautiful energy. So maybe it's the 1212 portal today. So happy 1212. Of course, the 12th house of the zodiac is Pisces, ruled by Pisces, ruled by Neptune. Neptune actually just went direct in Pisces earlier this week. So a lot of dreaming, a lot of connection to the spirit world, a lot of almost maybe too much in one direction of spirit overwhelming, making the world seem a little odd in a way, but probably a lot of dreaming going on too, are you? So welcome everybody. So good to see you. Hopefully you're having a great weekend so far as we begin it here. And um, yeah, I was going to say something else, but it ran away. So it'll come back if it's important. But thank you for being here. And if you're new to my channel, new to these readings, welcome. We got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts and great senses of humor. So there's always room for more Zen friends. So welcome. Um, if you want to know how the whole process works for the readings and everything, it's all down below in the description box of the video. Um, Free readings are generally 1 to 2 cards. Um, but if anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange, prioritize those, step out of the free readings, dive deeper. We dive in. What am I saying? Spilling the tea with Bretta Z. That's my new tagline. I'm getting used to it. You like the hat, Olivier? Hello. um, but we dive deeper, meaning we pull more cards for those as well. And then you also get a fortune cookie. Free readings might get a little fortune cookie tonight too. I think I want to use these other ones up. So I might throw those in tonight as a little special giveaway. It's just a little short sentence anyway, so it's not going to take a lot of extra time. So maybe we'll do that. But you do get a fortune cookie along with your donation. And if you want to make a donation, can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, my Cash App, PayPal, and Square. Don't have any set dollar amounts because I know everyone's cost of living is different. The rate of exchange is different across the world. Everyone's income is different. So whatever you give from your heart, I know you're giving what you can. So, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, I think that's it. At the end of each session, I do post a pinned comment listing all the readings and timestamps. If you ever miss your reading and want to come back later, you can you can come back and uh, just click on that timestamp, and it'll take you right to your reading. So it's very convenient. If I do not get to any free readings by 2.5 hours in, then I do step away from donations for about a half hour, complete as many free readings as I can, and then I return back and always complete all donations. I try to complete as many free readings as I can, and if my energy is there, I will even try to finish as many free readings as I can after I finish all donations. That's why sometimes I end up being on 5 or 6 hours. I know, but I'm trying to balance, so, you know, just for all my, sisters out there who, are very cognizant of me taking care of myself. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Alright, so, what else? Oh, I do have a drawing it's around every 2 weeks for every new moon and every full moon, where I give away a 30-minute person recorded reading or a hedge of peace and love, whichever you prefer. So the link to the current drawing is always in the current stream's video description box down below. So here it is right here for your convenience, but it's always listed down there if you ever want to jump into that. And we have a couple weeks left. Can you believe it is the middle almost of December already? I know I say that for the year and every month as it's flying by, but it just feels like life is whoosh. Um, but I am for the rest of the year. I have all of my personal readings on sale, both my virtual and my recorded readings, and then also my hedges of peace and love. So if you're interested, you can get those. I'll probably be changing the pricing back on January 2nd. possibly is the intent, but we flow with spirit. And then if you haven't checked out my Easier Path podcast, we just put out adventure number 6 yesterday, The Unicorn of Love. And it was funny. I was just noticing, Johanna, Jojo, if you're here, you were dreaming of unicorns. Maybe you were picking up the energy of the podcast. But we'll take a look at your reading here in a sec. But all that's free if you want to check that out. The playlist is down in the description box. If you're wanting some tools from Spirit to make this an easier path, then check it out. And of course, if you go to my main channel, the link is always at the top up there too in the playlists. So we like that. There's our jolly elf. Hey, everybody. It smells it smells like Christmas. Smells Christmas spirit. You guys are so funny. Thank you. I just got it earlier today. It came in like a really compressed, how they suck all the air out. So I've been trying to inflate it a little more. I'm sure it'll get bigger as the oxygen gets into it. So hello everybody. Deb, good to see you as well. And Livier. Let's see here. Don't see questions yet from you guys. I'm just gonna do some shout outs and get my list going here, and we'll get into the readings and see what we have here. So those are good. Those are good. So we got Touch of Love in the house. Hey, Touch of Love. I got your free reading on the my list over here. We got Dollface Diva. I got you on there. And then Ashish Balkaran. I got you there. Of course, Jojo. I have your 2 donations. So you'll be up first. And then Content. We have you also on the free reading list. So we are all set. So good to see everybody. Thanks for all the thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love, and you are part of the love tsunami. So thank you guys so much for doing that here. Let me see. I think I'm going to put these here. So I'm going to continue to use, I used this one last night, the Lumina Tarot. So I got that one here. I have a couple other tarot decks I might introduce this weekend. Or I might go back to the Yuletide. I got the Yuletide just sitting over there going, you are wearing a Christmas hat. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll start using you tomorrow again. Okay. All right, so we'll get into the readings here and see what Spirit has going on. All right, so Jojo, you are up first. Here's your first reading. Of course, we'll circle back for your second one here in a moment. Right. Let's grab Olivier here. Thank you, Olivier. I'll add you on the list here. There we go. All right. So, Jojo, thank you for your first donation with the flowers. We'll give that a love and a like since it lets me do it on those. And you want to know, is it now actually over with, are those flowers like for the grave of your relationship with them? You're like, yes, I'm putting flowers on it. All right. Let's take a look here and see. It's funny because our relationships with human characters, of course, can end in the timeline that we're in, but they will never end when we're looking at eternity. We'll always have the memories, the experiences will always be a part of us for eternity. So that's interesting that they bring that up. Nothing's actually ever over. It's just end scene and we're moving on to something else, but it's always part of the story. That's interesting. But is it are the interactions over with as they have been on anything else? Let's see what we got here. Ho ho ho. Who you calling a hoe? All right. I'm giddy already. What's going on? All right. So, yeah, we do have the 5 of Wands, the little butting heads, the little conflict energy that's coming in there. Oh, and underneath that, we got the 5 of Pentacles, which is the feeling, the fear of being abandoned, being left behind, being left out in the cold. So we got that little 5 energy of conflict and stepping stone energy below the surface on the cards there. So that's telling us something there that, this wasn't meant to be a long-term thing anyway, right? It was meant to help us change, help us evolve, help us identify things to free us from some beliefs and some energies that don't serve there. So we'll take a look here. So specifically, is it over? We got the Knight of Cups, which is the quest for self-love, but it's movement of emotion, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it's interesting. We've got this relationship energy hugely coming out here, but I do feel like this is saying this is the movement forward, and, it's I feel like I'm seeing the relationship is like all these little steps across a pond so that you don't get wet. And so there's all these stones, but all these stones, and I feel like there's 5 stones, 5 pentacles stones across the like it's not a raging river, but it's a flowing kind of pond, stream, and you step across it. And I feel like 3 out of 5. So I feel like there's still a couple more interactions, but I feel like you're not 2.5, which would be halfway. You're on the other side of being in the middle. And I feel like you'll have a couple other interactions, and we'll see what those I feel like we've got 2 cards here. I feel like these are the interactions that you will have. Oh, that makes sense. So, um, these 2 will be the remaining interactions that we got underlying energy and then the result here as well. So let's see what those are. So the next interaction is the King of Pentacles, which is this feeling of fullness around your self worth and really realizing like who I am and that I define myself by what's going on inside of me, not outside of me, right? Not, the um but by relationship situations and things, I'm turning inward and going, "No, I'm finding my pricelessness on the inside." And so that's been a big piece of this energy of learning your fullness comes from within, so that for when you end up in your longer and long-term relationships, um, that you'll see it completely different because you're not gonna be defining yourself, so you're not gonna shrink, you're not going to worry about, well, what are they thinking? And what if this? What if that? What if this? You'll just be enjoying it and have more gratitude around what is. And I feel like that's what's coming in here. King of Pentacles, too, saying that you're learning to be grateful for what is and you're not focusing on what something isn't. And it changes your perspective. So I feel like the next step is you're like, you know what? I'm just going to enjoy it for whatever my interaction is. I'm not going to sweat it and I'm just going to see what's going on. So I like that. And then your final one, yeah, the 2 of Pentacles, it's a balanced energy, you can even look at the infinity symbol on the side or look at my eyeballs. What's going on? Why am I so giddy? I don't know. I mean, alright, I don't know. It's great energy. I'm just gonna roll with it. Um, but it's a balanced energy. I feel like you just realize, I'm not impacted whether they're here or not for the 5th one, and you're like, "I'm gonna be fine either way." It's fun knowing them and interacting without expectations, but I'm okay, and I like that kind of finalization energy that ends that'll be the last time you guys interact with because they drift away or go away, uh, or you go away, or you go in 2 different directions and you don't see each other, um, on a regular basis at all. Um, Below the surface, you do have the 2 of Wands. Yeah, you're learning a lot about whatever you focus on within the 2 of Pentacles too, and the Ace of Swords, yeah. So that's giving you new perspectives. So there's still a little bit of clarity that comes in here about your power of energetic choice, whatever you focus on. If you focus on gratitude, you see it's a more easier kind of interactions with someone or, um When you focus on the lower vibration, that's when you have the conflict and the, you know, fun, uh, it's the unfun energies, right? The lower vibrational, which is not wrong. They're just not, they're unfun. They're unjoy. And then at the end of this, when you step off here, yeah, Maiden of Pentacles. Yep, new opportunities. You're feeling your sense of worth in relationship to the outside world. Very, very different after you complete your little path across the river with them being the stepping stones across there. So, couple more steps with them, but it feels less and less impactful to you as far as feels more neutral and higher vibrational because of your choices in responding to what's going on there. Um, so I like that. It's funny. I was reading. I'm reading one of my old praying mantis members. I call her Debbie Debbie. And we have Deb Deb, and then we had Debbie Debbie. Suggested the 10 things that the dead want us to know. And one of the things I was just reading earlier today was in a relationship with someone else, it's a co-creation of the experience together. But what happens after it with our choices of our, emotions in our mind, that's our personal creation. What we co-create together, that's, both of our energies going into it, but my experience of it is my own creation because I choose the thoughts, the emotions, my energy, and my actions, right? Can't control theirs. So I thought that was interesting. That really stood out today. All right, let's see here. What's the fortune cookie for you and O here? Thank you. And we'll look at your second one. You got release and let go. All right, well, here's the cage of thought and belief. There's that bird letting it go. Bye bye. Release them back into the wild. Climbing a mountain, one can gather many beautiful stones. There you go. It's the stones across the pond. But to fly, you need to release them. Now is the time to let go. Pull in the oars of ambition and let the river carry you downstream. Fall off. Fall off the stepping stones. Just fall in the river. You're like, that's your choice though too. You're like, I could take 2 steps more with them or I can just fall off the stepping stones and get wet. Release all struggle and agenda, all trying. There's an old maxim that says, "What is for ye will not pass by ye." Have the boldness to believe this and let the waters of life carry you in its current, buoyant, free. I like that. So you do have that power of choice that comes in here, which, I love that awareness because we can go, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm just going to fall into the water and go down to the next stepping stones. I will hit more stepping stones one way or another. Do I want to do it with them or do I want to do it with someone else? I have to get across the river. So some way, somehow I'm going to hit these stepping stones to go on the adventure that I want to go on. So I get to choose. Is it them or someone else? Right. So that's what they have for that one. Hopefully that helps a little. All right. And then for your next one, let's grab your timestamp for that one. So here's your 2 timestamps. Boom, boom, boom. There we are. And this is the one about the unicorns. So you had a weird dream about a herd of herds of unicorns. What was that about? So was it a unicorn realm or past life or what? Let's take a look. So I didn't cheers everybody. Got my nice hot coffee going on here. So good, so good. All right. So let's take a look here. What was this dream about the herds of unicorns? Sounds beautiful. All right. I'm getting that it wasn't, like, specifically thank you. They confirm it with the ace of wands on the bottom of the deck here. It wasn't specifically a the realm of the unicorns, but yeah, you even got the emperor underneath here. You got, and the 4 of wands and the 8 of wands. Any more wands? No, okay. But you've got all these on the bottom of the deck with the ace of wands, you know, um, being it was an expression of your energy, but you did invite in, like, the essence of it's like the format, which is an interesting way to look at it, but it's like the canvas of the unicorn realm. You're like, "I wanna paint something in my dream. I wanna create something. Can I borrow some herds of unicorns?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're there," you know? And I like the 8 of wands is a lot of, energy. The 4 of wands is an energy of joy and celebration, a gathering. The emperor energy, like I said, is Aries, creation, new birthing. But the emperor energy is me deciding what I want. So I feel like this was you going to the ethereal, and it makes sense with this Neptune, going direct in Pisces earlier this week. There's a lot of powerful energy flowing through our dream world right now, even more than normal. It was in retrograde in Pisces, but now it's gone direct in Pisces, which is the forward movement. It's like turning like retrograde in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces is like stopping, turning around, reflecting, but this is like more creation and drawing in energy. I feel like with it going direct until we go into Aries in Neptune next year. So powerful energies that I feel like you're already picking up because I feel like we're in the 29th degree of Pisces right now. We're on the cusp. It's a very reflective, what am I ready to let go of? What haven't I completed in my Neptune underworld? Now, what am I going to do going forward? I feel like you're very excited about creating and moving forward here. I'm going to play with this all night, I know. And I like that. I like this for you. So it was more that the 8 of wands on the bottom is also telling me that there was some messages coming through during all of this as well. So let's take a look. You got 2 cards, and 3 cards. The first set of 2 cards, you've got Temperance, and here's the 2 of Pentacles. So I'm just getting some interesting energy with this because Temperance is like 2 cups going back and forth, creating something slowly. 2 of Pentacles is a balancing energy, but also a number of 2. And there is this kind of energy of bringing here's the Sagittarius fire energy. Again, kind of wands fire, a lot of creation, looking at creating stuff in the outside world, starting it inside and letting it come out. But there's this big creation energy that's bubbling in with all of this. And I feel like they're going to be oh, wow. They're saying that we're your muses. And we couldn't decide who was going to be your muse out of this herd of unicorns and which herd it was gonna be, so they are all like, "We can all go. Let's all do it." So you're gonna have these herds of unicorns all appearing in different places throughout your rest of this life of yours of as this human, as your muses. They're gonna be your creations. The Ace of Wands is they're like, "Yeah, um, where this is made from our each of our horns, our unihorns, because we're unicorns. I love that we're a source of your inspiration, and we, um they're like, "We're not competitive, so because we all wanted to do it, we all can," and we are. So that's funny. I like that snarky confident. They're not arrogant. They're just like, "We can do what we want. We're unicorns." I like that. Yeah, here is the Neptune and Pisces. So they're really showing this is showing you different perspectives, and this is part of your. creation and part of your seeing things from a different perspective as well. So that's exactly. I mean, we got the. I don't know if I showed it close enough because we got the sign of Neptune, and then the Hangman is, of course, Neptune rules over Pisces. So here is that energy I was talking about. You just can't make it up. And you have the Queen of Swords. Yeah, balancing of the head and the heart. Again, this balancing energy, and they're going to help ground you and help you kind of focus your energy into creation and to creating things. So I like that. So I like that. I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see what these other 3 cards are. What are they helping you bring forward? Yeah, the King of Pentacles. This was in your previous reading. They're helping you see your abundance and sense of worth and relationship to the outside world in a different way. You also have the High Priestess. Yeah. Again, Moon Pisces energy, um, which is, going inward and upward, connecting with spirit. I like this two-ness. They normally don't have two. Well, they usually have pillars, the black and the white pillars. But I like that there's these two sides of you that are coming in here. All these twos that you've been getting in your last reading and this reading too. I wonder what that's about. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, yeah, Justice, Libra. So the two scales too. The number 2 high priestess with 2 high priestesses, this different side of the scales, the 2 pentacles. Was there 2 herds of unicorns? Because I feel like there's all this duality energy, and they're like, yeah, it's about you being like the magician who raises their hands towards the heaven with their wand and one hand to the earth, and you're being this conduit of bringing this energy, and they're excited to help bring the magic um, that you're going to allow to come through you into the world in your own special, unique way. They're like, we're just your inspiration, but um, you're going to be the mini creator bringing things into the world. So I love that. Wow. Powerful, powerful message. Boom, boom, boom. So I love that. Herds of unicorns. And let's see what your fortune cookie brings in for that too. All right. Here it is. You had 2 cards, but they're like, this is the one. Clear away old energies. Yeah, it even looks like the 2 of Pentacles. Card 38. Clear away the old energies. There's the energies coming in again. So the little blurb it has to start off, it says, "The green leaves grew and swayed in the wind and turned so bright from knowledge, then returned to the holy again. All in the past is a sacred stepping stone." There's the stepping stones again. "A shrine really to any who can see. And a broom is always near that could even sweep away a planet." Again, there's this energy of letting the old go, right? It's time to clear away the old energies, just like giving away clothes that no longer fit or clutter that no longer serves your home. So too, we must clear away energies that have run their course. Forgive, especially yourself. The plates that you keep spinning over your head all the time? Question mark. Let them fall to the ground. Consider which ones are truly worthy of your attention and energy right now, and let all else be swept away. Yeah, both of your cards were about letting go, right? Release and let go, clear away old energies. So you are getting ready for creation of something amazing with both of those cards. And that makes sense. We're in, of course, a 9 year, and it's the year of the snake, which is all about letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go. Next year, we've got all the horses, right? It's the year of the fire horse. It's starting in February, I think, is when Chinese New Year is. And so we still have January, but February kicks in with that. And it is a 1 year starting in January next year. So 2026 is a one. So we're birthing and creating new things too. So the energy is perfect for that. Right. So that's what they have for you. Thank you again for your multiple donations there, Jojo. Very appreciative. And I hope you're sleeping well. You're probably dreaming of more unicorns right now. One with a little Santa hat. That's me, just so you know. All right. All right. I think that's it for my donations as of right now. So we'll jump in here. Hey, I am Shailene. Good to see you. You found me again. I wasn't hiding. I wasn't hiding from you, just so you know. It's always perfect timing. So welcome. Good to see you again. All right. So we'll jump in here for free readings. Up first, we've got content. So content. Let's give you there's your timestamp and a general for the upcoming week. Let's see what we got going on here. What does Spirit wants you to know here? We got this one and this one. We'll give you one for the road underneath the surface too. And we'll do the bottom of the deck since we don't have a whole lot of readings right now. Bottom of the deck, you have the Maiden of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. Seems to be some clarity coming in next week for you with that Page of Swords. New communication, too. Underneath the surface, you have the Magician. So, you've been getting this, I feel like, lately, where the amount of manifestation energy that you have in your must be your birth chart. The planets must be in alignment because it's like you've got this whatever you focus on, always whatever our energy is focused on is what would you draw to us. But when we're getting this kind of energy for you, it's like it's coming in faster and bigger. So if you're focusing on gratitude and higher vibration, whoa, right? Things come in fast and big, but if you're focused on lower vibration, it also comes in fast and big. So it's like be aware of what you're focusing your energy on, I feel like is the first message. Yeah, you got the King of Swords. So that's they have the Ace of Swords. You had the Page, now you have the King too. Big thinker energy and the Fool card too. So ending of major cycles, beginning of new adventures. So kind of there is this opportunity. Um, when you look at this combine, especially the Fool card, there is like this energy of like um yeah, I like this energy of I don't know. Um the Fool card is like letting go of expectations, letting go of intentions, looking at the world of possibilities. It's the zero. It's like a little child going, anything's possible. Let's go. It's the beginning of our adventure where it just opens up, and it's doing things differently. We've got Uranus here. It's Aquarius, kind of Uranus planet energy, which we're weird, Aquarius. Hello. We like doing things differently and doing things out of the ordinary. The old ways don't work. Let's try something new. And this is what's coming in here with all this new energy, new thinking, new ways of looking at things, connecting higher. And I like this. Don't be afraid to try new things here this upcoming week and kind of get out of your head of the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be out of the way. We're told to focus on what we want and what we need and what we fear. Focus on gratitude as well. Free of possibilities. Just ask Creator, hey, this is what I would like, but I'm going to focus on gratitude and everything else. I'm just going to surrender the how to the universe, right? Let's see here. You also have the Fae Whispers Fairy Oracle. This is what I'm going to use for just for the free readings. I'm going to give everyone a little one of these too. So let's take a look here. There we go. You've got the forest's embrace. Connect with nature. Let the woods soothe your spirit. Yeah, if you can get out into nature, Nature, Mother Nurture, that's getting away from all that, you know, supposed to be's and all that. Reminds me of the Empress who she in the major arcana is right before the Emperor and the Hierophant, which are the rule makers. She's like, screw the rules. I'm running through the forest naked. I don't care about your rules. I'm going to be free. Don't do that unless you're sure you won't get arrested somewhere. But that's kind of the energy there. So hopefully that helps. That's what they have for you, content. So many blessings to you. All right, Shalene, you'd like a reading, but you don't see the video if things have changed. Yeah, I can definitely give you a reading. Do you not see the video? I am live. I have it over here. So I am live here. Um, yeah, do you want a general reading, Shailene, or do you have a specific question? Pop that down there. All right. There's only a few more in front of you here. All right, Ashish, you are up. Whoops. Let's try that again. There we go. Whoop. Third time's a charm. There we go. All right. How soon will you be in a relationship? All right, let's take a look here. We'll use the when cards here with this learning tarot that have dates on it. So, based on current energies, when will you be in a relationship? Just a relationship of any kind, any romantic kind. And then also, when will you be in like a long term committed relationship, right? Okay. That's the one there. All right. Let's see what we got here. So the next time you're going to be in a relationship, oh, actually, you got the Page of Cups. So that is a new love kind of energy. This almost feels like a return of someone, like you've someone that you've attempted to kind of date before and they're returning back. And it's not something like, oh God, because it's someone you're like, oh, okay, well, we can try it again. This is January. I'm sorry. This is all the water signs. It's not January. I can't read. It's really tiny. It's let me do it in order here. What are we? Yeah, we're past that one. So February 19th to March 20th, which is Pisces season. And then we go into Cancer season, which is June 21st, July 22nd. And then we have another period of October 23rd to November 21st. So depending on your energies, the soonest it can be is like February 19th through March 20th is the next like relationship, not just like dating, but you kind of choose to maybe um like what is it called when you agree to date someone? Go steady? No, that's the old way. But exclusively date someone. That's the word I was looking for. And then if you it's funny, you also have February 20th to March 20th, Wheel of Fortune here, which is like a serious long-term relationship. So, I feel like that's gonna be the period here, because I asked them separately. So whatever this next one is, it feels like it's a second return of someone coming back, and it actually lasts for I don't feel like it's like your forever person, but there is significant long-term relationship for you, that's coming in there. So interesting that those both came out for that date. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So that's what they have for you, Ashish. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we've got Dollface Diva. You are up with 4404. Look at all those fours. So that's yours there. I need like a general reading. Let's see what's. Oops. I almost forgot. Hold on. Let me Ashish, if you're still listening, I didn't give you your fortune cookie. I put him right there so I wouldn't forget. It didn't do its job. You got the fairy feast, which is nourish your soul, find sustenance in joy and laughter. So I like that because this is about, in the meantime, focus in on what brings you joy, follow your passion. It's like, it's kind of in a way not making like finding love your hobby and your passion, but what do you love doing? Go do that, because it's in doing that that you reacquaint and bump into the person that I feel like you guys had interest before and it just didn't go. it didn't take at that time because of what was going on in both of your guys' lives, but now you're able to. So I do like that. So that is what they have for you, Ashish. So hopefully that helps. All right. Now, doll face diva. So sorry, I took away all your fours, but it must have been for a reason. So here is yours, doll face diva. All right. So a general, let's see, what does Spirit wants you to know right now? We've got this one. Oh, they don't want that one. I got this one. And I feel like we're going to do this underneath the surface here. We'll see what we got going on. On the bottom of the deck for you, do have the Emperor. Aries energy, action energy. But this is about you deciding what you want, not what everyone has told you to want. You clear the throne room of all the blabbing, self-appointed advisors telling you what you should do with your life, who you're supposed to be with, what you're supposed to accomplish, blah, blah, blah. And you get to decide what it is that you want from your heart. You make a plan, then you take action and you take steps behind it. Underneath the surface, yeah, the Magician. So definitely about your intention, you taking action, not waiting for something else to happen, for someone else to do things. This is you. All this divine masculine energy is I'm taking action. I'm moving forward. When we get a divine feminine energy, it's I've done all I can. Now I'm waiting on spirit to help, right? But this is all about doing all these things, taking action, moving forward energy. You also had your main cards are yeah, Knight of Pentacles has been a slow moving energy. You got the Three of Cups coming in here too. I feel like whatever has been feeling like it's been going slow for a while has allowed you to meet some people, or if you haven't met them yet, the Three of Cups is like two other peas in a pod, kind of like finding your tribe, finding the individuals that will help support you in this direction that you're wanting to do and go. So if you don't have like these two besties that you know will they would help you. Not that I'm encouraging burying a body, but they would help you bury the body, you know? So I feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming in right now is know that things have been going slow, but it's time to take action. And you will find your tribe if you haven't already that will help support you in that direction too. More emotional support than financial, but they're going to be there to help you stay true to you and not go off and do what everyone else wants you to do. They're going to go like, this isn't what you wanted. This is what they want. Right. And you're like, yeah, I know. Right. And then you have the Fairy Cottage Retreat is your fortune cookie that says, visit a fairy cottage tucked away in the woods, find solace and rejuvenation in its cozy charm. This is an energy about getting away, like the emperor who clears the throne room, has time with themselves to find out what they want. So it's almost like this encouragement to kind of step away from that and, kind of go, in that direction. So I like that for you. And that's what they have for you, Dolphy Steva. So many blessings to you. Hey, Deb. Please finish the readings before you. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I will. Thank you so much. You're so generous. I will do that. All right. We have Maria Celentine. Hello in the house too. Hello. Good to see you. All right. Touch O Love. You are right at 49 minutes even. There we go. And you wanted to know what is Rex's energy towards you now? He's making you confused. So can spirit see what you need to know, please? All right, we'll take a look here. All right, that'll be the underline and then the bottom of the deck here. Yeah, I see here. And that makes sense. The Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck does represent kind of conflicting energy. So that would be the confusion, right? You're getting like mixed messages, right? When they're in their heart and they're expressing their heart, you're like, oh, I love what they're saying. When they're in their head and their mind is trying to override their heart based on fears and supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and blah, 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 then they're saying things that our heart doesn't like, right? They're not acting the same. You're like, "Why are you hot and cold?" Well, hot energy, cold energy, right? And that's the conflict that's coming in here too. It's funny that we're like, "No, moth, don't hang yourself." It's not worth it. It's not worth it. All right, let's see what else we have here. Underlying energy. We also have the 6 of wands. It is a victory energy. It is a being seen energy. So underneath the surface, just know that this is for you, that it helps you because whenever there's conflict that we're experiencing, they're not making us like Rex can't make you confused, just like they can't make me confused. But I can be confused about what's bubbling up within me around their actions or non actions, their words or their silence, right? When their energy changes, and I'm like, what is going on here? This thing is the thing that's making it confusing because it's putting stories to stuff, right? But this is for us. It helps us bubble up whenever we have a challenge from the outside world. That's for us to free ourselves from thoughts and beliefs that bubble up, that trigger with this little mind thing, right? Yeah, you've got the Knight of Wands, which is the quest for your power, and the Two of Wands, which is a reminder of your power. So, so all of that combines to tell me, that um, just like their energy goes back and forth, so does ours, right? It's our humanity. We can't be. I mean, I guess we could be at 100% at higher vibration, but then that's when we become ascended masters and we go "Psh, bye because we don't need this anymore. But we come down here to experience, and that's why we stay grounded and rooted in this humanity so that we can experience the contrast. And that's what's going on with all this. So, understanding that this quest of your power is about I get to decide what story, what emotion, what actions I take, but my energy too. My energy draws to me who I am being, not what I'm trying to become or wanting or needing or whatever. My energy, if it is of any kind of lack or in the moment or feeling small or anything lower vibration, then I'm going to experience life in that vibration. But then I can choose to change my energy, which this is what we want. We want the power to lie in here, not out there. I don't want to be at the whim of the outside world. I know you don't either. You want to be able to go regardless of what people do or don't do, say or don't say. I am powerful and I can choose to be happy about it, whatever. I was, there was this Instagram thing that they're bringing back today. What was it that they said? Oh, he was like, if you're pissed off, which I don't, you're not pissed off, probably. I don't feel like you're that around it. It's more confusion, right? But it said if we're pissed off, we he goes, the thing to realize, and you may not like to hear this, which it's such a good thing. I love hearing the honesty, right? It's you if you get if someone does something and you get pissed off by what someone does, you're pissed offable. And you were pissed offable before they did or didn't do what they did, right? And, um, and that is the thing that we can look at is realizing, "Oh, this is about me," and that in a situation, I'm piss offable, and I can look at that, and I can transform that. So, I love that. I feel like that's what a big piece of this energy is here for you. That's what I feel spirit just wants to let you know that conflict um, that we experience isn't happening out here, it's happening in here. Here's our conflict. Things out here just are, but we see it as conflict or confusing or hurtful or even happy or whatever, but all that is happening in here, not out here, right? So, it's this wonderful adventure energy, for you here. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in. You got the Woodland Guardian, which says, "Protect what you hold dear. Honor the earth and its gifts." Yeah, I like that. There is this, what do I hold dear? Then I'm going to honor that and have that there. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they have for you. Touch of love. So many blessings to you. All right. You're still live, right? Yeah, good. All right. Livier Vagara, you are up here. Whoops. Must have my keyboard slightly off because I keep hitting the same button over and over again. There we go. And you want a general for the upcoming week. All right, let's take a look here. All right. So let's see what we got here. This is below. Got two sets up here. All right. The upcoming week, you do have the Four of Pentacles on the bottom here. And this Four of Pentacles, this is an energy here of like questioning your definition of your worth. And because underneath the bottom line, they gave me another card for underneath the devil card, Saturn, Capricorn, Saturn returns, shaking and rattling of long held thoughts and beliefs that have to do with worth, which we're all taught, right? Define yourself by the three buckets of the outside world: relationships of all kinds with humans, situations, jobs, education, all that, and things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. Those are the three buckets we're taught. Who you are depend on the results of these things. And so we spend our life pursuing, driven, wanting, needing more, trying to figure it, trying to control all those things because, we are, um, fearing that we're going to be unlovable and unacceptable if those things don't happen. Well, that's what's happening here. I feel like they're all pointing you inward to show you who you really are, and this re this release of old ways of thinking, right? The first set here, yeah, you got the Knight of Swords and the King of Cups. One part of it that's really in focus this next week is the definition of what a perfect compatible person is. The King of Cups is this balance between head and heart, someone who can speak and communicate their emotions. What? I know. But they're not so much in their head, they don't know what an emotion is, and they're not so much in their emotions that they're emotionally unstable. There's a wonderful balance that's here. Um, but our definition of that list of who someone is supposed to be, right? Who they're supposed to be in the relationship, how a relationship is supposed to start, how it's supposed to progress, how it's supposed to end up, what it's supposed to bring me, who I'm supposed to be in it. Exhausting. It's that pursuit with the Knight of Swords is all about, with that Ace of Swords, it's given us that clarity of pushing away, those thoughts, beliefs, and mindsets that don't serve us anymore, those that feel limited and restrictive and opinion. And it's like, what do I want, in my heart? Not what I think I'm supposed to have, but what do I want, right? And there's that clarity that's coming in, especially around that. The other thing that's being clarified here, yeah, is your emotional power here too. You get the Queen of Cups, the which is the divine counterpart of the King of Cups, but the Two of Wands, and realizing, there doesn't have to be a perfect person. When we realize I'm the one that gets to choose my emotions, I could be happy with anyone if I wanted to be. And I like that power. It's like it's not about have to, it's about desire, but also about knowing your power around relationship, I feel, um, because of that King of Cups and Queen of Cups. It's I get to choose always the energy of my experience. And if you didn't hear it earlier, they're bringing back up what I had mentioned that I read in this book by Mike Dooley called "The 10 Things the I think it's the dead want you to know," but it's you co-create an experience with someone else, right? Um, but you're part of what you experience after your thoughts and your emotions, everything else. That's what you create. We create a life together with someone, but my experience of it all happens within me. So I like that. So some great awareness and clarity coming in next week for you. All right. So what your fortune cookie comes in. Yeah, the sacred well, where the water is held, right? Sacred emotion. Deep healing is available. Take time for restoration. So really understanding where the fears are and what rules were created from the pain of the past, that helps us release those thoughts too. So as we think about what are the big "Ooh," where our heart was like, "That really hurt back then, that scared me." Let's look at that and we can transform it too. So, I like that for you, Olivier. That's what they have for you. So let me click out of here. So next we're gonna jump over to for her donation. She was so gracious and let me finish up the free readings that I had at that time. And then we've got Ateshi Singh. Let me grab yours. Hey, Ateshi. Hello, hello. Put you on the free list here, which we'll return to here in a moment, unless I suddenly have donations start popping in here. And then I am Shailene. You want to know when you'll be in? Okay, very good. Um, no, there's no minimum for donations if you want to make a donation there, Shailene. It's whatever you're able to give from your heart. So I don't have a set dollar amount. And you can use the super chat or in the description box of the video, I do have my Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and Square too, if you want to use any of those. All right. So Deb, you're 10115. And thank you so much for your donation and for your graciousness and allowing some of the free readings to continue. An oracle, sure. I don't want to just give you that oracle though. Do we have another oracle somewhere here? I feel like we want a bigger oracle. We've got oracles over here, but I feel like I'm just gonna like reach into this over here and let's see what we come out with here. Ooh, the Inner Temple Oracle from Rebecca Campbell. And how do you okay, you open it this way. It opens differently. Just so everyone knows, it opens like this instead of oops, as I hit the thingy. I do know how to open a box, but they usually open differently. This one is the one of the few that opens like this to where you can actually oh yeah, it's one of these that you can go like this and actually oops, I guess it helps you to see it like this, where you can have it posted here. So I like that. All right. Yeah. Because these little oracle ones are like tiny, tiny. I feel like Spirit wants to give you a juicier message. We'll still give you a fortune cookie, but there we go. All right. And your card is Chamber of Protection. Ooh, look at this. Beautiful, beautiful energies. I think it's a little bee. So let's see here. What's the Chamber of Protection? Here we go. So the Chamber of Protection says, don't place your attention outside yourself. Focus it within. It's almost like you're in a hedge, right? The more you look to external sources to guide, nourish, validate, or affirm you, the more likely you'll feel off kilter. Draw your strength, your guidance, your truth, your worth from inside. If you draw your sense of safety from outside yourself, you'll forever be defending yourself from the outer world, right? Many see energetic protection as a sort of defense, something they need to be wary of. But if you take looking after your sacred space into your own hands, you get to decide who enters it, much like the guard bee, a natural born protector who decides who will enter the sacred space of the hive. Sometimes this card appears when you're being called to renegotiate your boundaries with places and people, which really means redefining your definition of sacred space. This card can also appear when you become overstimulated by the energy of other people and may have been drawing your sense of self from outside rather than within. The Chamber of Protection is an invitation to resource yourself. You can do this by connecting with Source and the earth and doing whatever you need to do to replenish and take care of your own needs. To give from a place of plenty, not a place of depletion and lack, for that's how resentment builds and boundaries become blurry. Yeah, I like that. Just people get your overflow, right? Not your sustenance. You're being called to tend to your energy and energetically prioritize yourself, to stop feeling like you owe anyone anything more than you owe yourself. Drop the guilt, take personal responsibility, and put your needs first. You get to define what your sacred space is and who is permitted to enter. Boom. I love it. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention here. What was happening here? That's where you're at, right? They're always so spot on, right? They just love speaking to you so clearly. I love it. So, and then let's get to your fortune cookie too and see what we got here. There we go. And you've got unleash your passion. Ooh. You're on top cat on a hot tin roof. You're up there on the roof with someone. You guys be careful up there. Don't hurt yourselves. But it says, the wolf's beautiful howl, so unleashed by passions, my lover smiled for days. Seek your muse, court her. When she visits, create with wild abandon. Let nothing hold back your whimsy, your folly, your bliss. Allowing your passion to grow, be nurtured, and expressed in one of the greatest gifts you can give to yourself and the world. Don't let modesty or fear repress your inspiration. You have galaxies inside of you. Express them. I like that. Express yourself. Put yourself first, but express yourself too. Unleash your passion. So beautiful, beautiful. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. All right. Hey, Cat Mia, good to see you. I just see you retracted your statement, so I won't grab that. We got Tanya Hikes in the house. Hello, hello. Absolutely. I'll add you onto the free list here. All right. Oh, there's Cat Mia. I see you reposted it or posted your corrected one, so I'll put that here as well. I know, right? And I was working on your hedge for Sunday for, was it, is that day 6 already? Can you believe it? And I love what they gave me to say in there. So I feel like that's going to kind of resonate a little bit with what was just said today too. So I can't tell you yet though. That's for Sunday. All right. And hey, Sudeshna's in the house. Hello, Sudeshna. Thank you for your dual donations. So we'll get to those here in a sec. Let me take a quick sip of coffee here. Cheers, everyone. Let me just mix that up here. Must be getting, let me just turn it down a little bit. Starting to convert something in the coffee and creamer and whatever I put in there into something different. We don't want that. All right. Yes, you as well. Thank you, Deb Deb. All right, Sudeshna, you are up. Here is number 1 for you. Of course, we will circle back around for number 2 here in a moment. But let's give that a love and a like for the first one there. And the upcoming week for you, love, career, health, and guidance. All right, we'll see what we got here. Let me move this over here. Don't want to forget those. All right. So let's see what we got going on here. So for the next week, all right, thank you for love, career. We got 4 for career. Boom, boom, boom. 1 for health, of course, disclaimer. We know you know that. And then guidance for the week. Okay, I was going to say just the one. They got one underlining, though. Overall, for the week, it feels very progressive in that you got the world card is the overall energy, below the surface here. And that is about significant endings and new beginning energy and feeling like you're progressing, you're going to a new level. It's not anything bad. It's a victory, completion kind of energy. We'll see where it shows up here most prominent in these different areas. For love, you do have the Empress, which is a lot of mother nature, mother nurture, and temperance as well. So two major arcana here, and this is about taking some time here to nurture yourself, to create stuff for yourself. And that temperance is the slow building of drawing love towards you. So right now, it feels like it's more of a time when we get that, the Empress is getting rid of the expectations, the supposed to be's, the should be's, clearing yourself, from that and focusing in and giving yourself that attention instead of looking outward for it. And that temperance is it's patience, it's things slow down to give you that opportunity to raise your own love vibration, right? So it's kind of like what we've been talking about. I feel like we're in that kind of zone. It's time to really uh, take that time raising your love vibration by letting go of old mindsets that don't serve you anymore, old emotions that don't serve you more, or people, energy that doesn't serve you, and things that don't serve you as well. Creating space within, and then raising your self love is what helps things move forward, helps the alchemy of love move forward. Career wise, this is where you have 4 cards. You got the Queen of Cups. So it's a lot of emotion for on the job, right? You got the Lover's card, power of emotional choice. So there's a lot of emotions definitely flowing here. No, don't go for anyone at work. Oh, 10 of Cups. Well, maybe not. Wait. 10 of Cups is a lot of emotion, oh, energy too, joy energy. And then the 6 of Pentacles, this abundance, this equal giving and receiving energy. So, uh, if we had gotten something under love around you're meeting someone new or blah blah blah, I'd be like, oh my god, you're going to have someone at work, but we don't want to have that happen at work. But there is a lot of emotion happening at work this week with the Queen of Cups, the 10 of Cups, the Lover's card. But it's the power of emotional choice. The more I focus on joy and celebration and higher vibration, then the more abundant it feels like this week. And it is this equal giving and receiving. If we go about it of, there's rules and there's things that have to get done and I'm jumping on people, it's gonna they're like, it's really an important energy this week to realize if you want cooperation from other people, you get more bees with honey than, with crap, right? You get flies with crap, bees with honey. So you want flies or you want bees? You're like, I don't want any of it. I want birds. Okay, hummingbird feeder. You get more hummingbirds through sweetness than you do flies, with crap, right? So it's this energy of I'm focusing in on um, knowing that this is what is best for all of us. It's best for me, it's best for them, it's a win-win. Looking at that instead of "This will make me look good," which I know you don't do, but, people can get caught into that. I don't want more out of fear, right? I don't wanna look like a fool, I don't want mistakes, so I'm gonna demand, and my fear is having me do this. So the more we can stay in a place of joy, then we won't get drawn into that fear where we end up doing unintelligent, unloving, uncompassionate things, right? because you know which supervisor has done that in the past, right? And you're like, I don't want to be like them. I want to be someone that invites hummingbirds, not the other things that are coming in, right? So I like that. Um, and then health wise, yeah, you got the death card here. Don't worry, this isn't an energy of, oh my gosh. Well, you don't have to worry about anything. You're not going to be anywhere past this week. No, it's not that. This is about a rebirth, a change that's coming in here. Scorpio energy, I feel like you realize, yeah, when I'm stressing out, I feel my body, blah, blah, blah. But if you choose this joy, I feel like work is one of your biggest stress makers, right? Like most of us in our lives. Relationships, work, the two big ones, right? But it feels like as you return to yourself and you're letting go of all that stuff and you're changing your energy at work, your health, you're like, wow, I feel like I'm reborn in a way. And I like that for you. Uh, yeah, it's nothing new that you haven't heard before, but I feel like you're actually able to see the impact of it this week when you make those choices. Um, Overall guidance, you've got the 5 of swords. You know, this is conflict, right? Underneath the conflict, we have the 8 of swords. Yeah. So I like this energy. This is a flowing energy. It's like the overall guidance is any conflict we experience out here is really in here because the outside world just is. It doesn't it doesn't yeah, and that makes sense here too with the world card. Again, that ending of the old way of doing things and trying new ways of looking at things. But the conflict, like as I was saying, it's in here. The world just is. What people do or don't do, say or don't say, there's no meaning to it till it gets into our little meatloaf between the ears, this little storyteller that applies some sort of story that it's been told growing up that it believed, and it's starting to question it, you know. Is Santa Claus real? Are they real? Maybe I am Santa Claus. Maybe I'm not. But it's about questioning those. And that 8 of swords is questioning and letting go old mindsets that brought in conflict in here because my mind is telling me this is how love is supposed to be, work's supposed to be, my health is supposed to be, life is supposed to be. When it's not, my it freaks me out. It creates conflict because I'm like, why isn't it matching this? And I've got to try to control it to make it happen. It's like, nope. We realize, oh, maybe this, you know, mindset, the story I heard is not true. And now I get to release it. I get to choose and release old mindsets that were making me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small, and realize when I look at the higher vibration joy, then that is what you know, releases me from those things. Seeing that higher thinking that's rooted in unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and play instead of lower vibration, restrictive, fear of failure, blah, blah, blah stuff, right? So I like that for this week. Your fortune cookie is trust your wisdom. Who? You. Who? That's the sound a owl makes, right? 13. Trust your wisdom. I'm in a goofy mood, more than normal. It says, what is the litmus test for wisdom? Having fun and loving, wild loving. So I love that. Having fun. It's like it said, what's the litmus test? Wisdom brings joy versus the other. It says, it is time to take action on what you already know, the directives you already received. Trust your experience and the wisdom that has gathered in your body. Let go of doubt and move confidently in the direction your wisdom has shown you. As the shackles of fear fall away, there's that letting go of old mindsets that made you feel blinded and bound, right? As the shackles of fear fall away, you will experience the playfulness and delight that trusting allows. And that trusting, I like that, trusting that whatever unfolds in our life is for us, trusting that the universe is kind, that we're not being punished, we're not accidentally having things happen. Everything is for us. Every experience helps us grow, and I love that. So that's what they have for your first one. So thank you for that. Let me grab your next timestamp here. Here we go. Let me just update that. Okay, we're good. And then give that a love and a like since it lets me there. So thank you for your second donation there. All right. No problem. You can't get it to work, Shailene. Do you have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, or Square? If any of those you've done before, you can use those too. Sometimes I know it can be quirky with YouTube with doing the super chat at the bottom. You're very welcome, Touch of Love. All right. Sue Deshna. So Will Sumita and we're going to call him D. Will they get married? How's the match? Will things move forward? All right, we'll take a look here based on current energies. Cheers, cheers, cheers. All right. So we'll switch into Samita's energy and their timeline based on current energies. Well, what's the map look like here? So will they get married? That's a yes or no. How's the match? And will things move forward? Let's see what this is about here. The bottom of the deck, we have the moon card here. The moon card brings in different energies, phases of the moon. But I feel like there's some hidden and unknown things that come to the surface here. Well, let's see what we have here. Will they get married based on current energies? Nope. We have the Eight of Cups walking away, walking away, walking away, from a relationship that doesn't serve here. So that makes sense here with that moon card. It feels like there's something hidden that comes to light that kind of makes it interrupts the process, right? Is it a good match? We got the Ten of Pentacles. There is abundance there in the physical world. So that seems like a good physical match. We have the Maiden of Cups. It's the Page of Cups, which that brings happiness. There is emotional happiness there. And we've got the Justice card. So there's this balanced energy in the house of relationship that comes in here. So it feels like it's a good match on the surface and with everything. But let's see here. I feel like something does rise unforeseen here. We'll see what this other message is here about will things move forward. Because we got the Ace of Swords, yeah. So this is discovery. Clarity comes in around some things here. And we got the Ten of Swords. There's a lot of expectations. It's almost like there's too much being asked for here. There's like a lot of expectations that weren't presented in the beginning, and they're like, okay with that. But also blah 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 blah. And they're like, what? Wait a minute. A lot of extra stuff I feel is added in here with this. There's a lot of clarity that comes in, and there's more to the story that unfolds, and they're like, really? So I feel like in the beginning there's a walking away from it with the Eight of Cups. Let's see, does anything else happen here? We do have the Maiden of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, which does speak of another opportunity in the future. And then the Queen of Pentacles. Then there's abundance and fulfillment and energy that comes in here. So it feels like there might be, again, there's this conflict, which is all right because I feel like, her parents are very much about not just, let's get rid of her. They're wanting a wonderful life for their daughter. It's going to be part of their family tree. They're not just allowing anyone to be part of it. So there's conflict that's been coming up a lot with a lot of the choices, right? And that's okay because I feel like They are putting their foot down and they have boundaries, and that's all right. But I feel like it does end up coming back here, and there might have to be letting go of some expectations to compromise a little bit here. Let me do a quick when card here too, based on current energies. When will an agreement be made ultimately? All right. I thought I'm going to have two. The first card is, when does this other thing happen? You got July 23rd to August 22nd, this strength card. Was this someone from back then? Was this already a walk away back in that period of time? Because we got September 23rd to October 22nd. Now that comes after that. So it's like a month later they come back. So this doesn't feel like from the past. This feels like the future here. So I feel like an agreement is made to start like in the beginning, like July 20th. I mean, it feels like a long time away, but there is this July 23rd to August 22nd energy of Leo. And then later there's peace of mind with the Four of Swords and all of that. It comes out to be like September 23rd to October 22nd is when the deal is set based on current energy. So it does feel like it's a bit later kind of energy with this here, um, with those dates, if that makes sense. Right, let's see what else they bring in here through the fortune cookie here. And as always, I'll apply what we've said in the past about energy. This is all based on Sumita's energy in the moment. And there can be changes. There can be, you know, and I feel like there's a lot of fear around not finding someone, defining myself by if I'm married or not. And I have a lot of fear, and when I have a lot of fear around that, I push it further away. So just the changing of energy of the release and the surrender and the focusing on higher vibration and gratitude and joy and trust in the creator and source, knowing they're going to bring the perfect person and the perfect timing and the perfect way allows a drawing in instead of a resistance and pushing away, even though consciously, we can be like, I want to be married. But that if that want is big, it pushes things away, right? Let's see what the fortune cookie is. Yeah, play. It's joy, play, higher vibrational energy, right? Yeah. All the squirrels, all the squirrels in the tree here. So let's see what her message is. Such nutrients in play, maybe more than even in prayer. Wow. When we play, we forget who we think we are, and all manner of possibility rushes in. Now is the time to shake off the shackles of heavy responsibility. Go outside and search the skies for clouds shaped like friends. Make a blanket fort in the middle of your living room. Color outside the lines. Skip down the aisles of the grocery store. Rekindle your relationship with your inner child who knows the secret to joy is play. So it's time to get out of that seriousness, right? As I was saying. So I love the confirmation of that one coming in. All right. So that's what they have for that one, Sudeshna. Thank you so much for that. I see you have another one there too. Let me just do a couple quick shout outs here. We got Aunt Rose. Hey, Aunt Rose. Nice to see you. Like the hat? All right. I'll grab your free reading, add you to the list here. All right. And Shailene, so you'll try again after the first is done. All right. So the free readings, yeah, that'll probably be may not be too far off. All right. So let me get back up here. So Sudeshna, thank you for your additional donation. Here's number 3. And we'll give that one a love and a like since it lets me. All right. So what's upcoming? What upcoming changes are coming in your life? In which area will it be? And spirit messages for you. Yeah, let's take a look here. We'll see where this is coming in. Let me take a quick sip here. Cheers, cheers, everybody. All right. I just love my got a little coffee warmer um, during Black Friday deal, and it keeps it so hot now. Usually, with my coffee and tea and everything would just go cold, right? But now it's nice and hot. I like it. All right. So let's take a look here. Let's look at what area of your life a change is coming in. Which one do they want you to know about first? All right. Got the Ace of Wands. We'll see what this is about here. Stepping into your power of attraction. You've got one, two, three, this progression energy coming in here, and the Nine of Pentacles. So it feels like the biggest change that's coming in the soonest for you, it does have to do with like work. Because you got the Nine of Pentacles, you even got the High Priestess here, and the Nine of Cups. So there's all this energy here of independence that's coming in here. Um, the nine being the Hermit energy of the major arcana. Um, but with the first one being the Nine of Pentacles, that is more independence in the physical world. And I did feel like that's more kind of pointed more towards the, abundance, money, which is related to work and career, right? So I feel like the biggest change is coming in there. You have the Ace of Wands, which this has to do with your power of choice. Whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. And I feel like the biggest change is realizing you're realizing that you create your world, and whatever you are allowing to be your essence, this energy is what happens. And you realize, and when you're joyful and you're upbeat, and I feel like if Samita does it too, maybe you guys kind of a pact, right? We're going to focus on joy and play, and look at what changes in our life, gratitude about stuff. Whoa, look what happened. And then when we're in our lower vibration, fear and lack and want and need and, responsibilities and, go, go, go. And in our head, look what happens, right? It's like I do so much and get so little. When I'm in my heart with play, I do so little and I get so much. It's weird how that works. Probably shared before when I was in the corporate world, like I almost had a nervous breakdown. I was working like 80, 90 hours a week, putting in all of this energy into I was in all these projects and doing all this stuff. And, I would work my time at work and then I'd go home and I'd work more at home, and work on the weekends from home or go into the office. And I was just always working. They were like, "Oh my God, you're here again." And I was involved in everything. And then I get to meet expectations, on my PE, and, the here's your little no bonuses, no promotions, no, reward for it. And I'm like, "Really?" So I was like, "You know what? I'm just going to stop trying so much." And because I felt, as my human, I thought I was doing like 4 times the work and getting zero reward for it. So I just started I'm just gonna come in and do what I'm expected to do. A little bit of rebellion in the beginning, but then it was like, "Why am I trying so hard? I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna go for walks after work, and I'm only gonna work like my regular hours. I'm not gonna work on the weekends. I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna enjoy I was a manager, so I'm gonna direct my direct reports and my peers and do what I can for my boss and everyone, but I'm just not gonna worry about it." Doing a fourth of the amount of energy, promotions exceeds expectations, raises and all that. And I'm like, "Wait, how does this work?" But that's how the universe works. Our energy, our essence. I was in a place of gratitude and joy and laughter and play, and I got more without hardly doing anything. We have a belief that you have to work hard to get, and that's when we're striving, 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 need, want, want. We push stuff away. And so it's a great analogy. Um, it's something that sticks with me in my life, and even with my channel here, when I try to do, "Oh, I'm gonna, do these videos and these videos and do," and then I'm like, I'm doing too much, I go out of balance, and it actually I get less, engagement when I do overdo things, and I'm like, "Oh, that's right. Thank you for the reminder." Alright, let's see what else you have here, but, so your energy, that Ace of Wands is the most important regarding work. What else about the change here? Yeah, and here's that you got the Lovers card. This is what you got in your reading around, job before, right? So confirmation, got the Lovers card. You also have the World card, which is an ending and a new beginning of freedom. Again, there's that free feeling of, no expectations. I'm just gonna let and that's funny with the Full card, that's the first card of the major arcana. I think you got the World card as your underlying energy of that reading for the week, which is a ending of one. That's what happens. Then you start this new beginning, this freedom from a lot of expectations and supposed to be and should be, and you go about it in a different way. Instead of trying to obey all these rules and do everything a certain way, or our managers are supposed to act like this, or supervisors or whatever, it's I am going to do things from my heart and through emotional choice rather than through fear and through the other. So there's this freedom energy that comes in here, right? This is the building here. So that does confirm this is about job because you got the Lovers card in your first one, right? And then you go to, yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. I love it. Jupiter, this growth energy. It's just like this is for me. It just happens. When I make that change, then this is the change that happens. And you got the Three of Cups, joy, celebration energy, and the King of Swords. Here's the ruler over the mind, right? But in this energy, especially with the full card being Uranus, and the King of Swords being can be an Aquarius energy, I really feel like this is about doing things differently. Aquarius energy, Uranus is about the old ways don't work. We need a new way of doing things. You know, threatening people and getting upset and um, putting out their bad scores in front of everyone. That doesn't motivate people for very long. It motivates them to find a different job. Yeah. But this is about a change of things. And I feel like you're having a change at work because you're changing who you are and how you're expressing yourself, but it allows you to make change at work too. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too here. But how fun. And it makes it more enjoyable. I mean, the difference between, like I said, I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I was so freaking out and trying to strive so hard back in the day when that was all going on. I don't know why I'm grabbing these cards. Let me grab these other ones. Yeah, I'm grabbing a different deck. It's like, no, I'm not going to pull from there. This is your fortune cookie. Boom. So I'm just throwing everything everywhere. But I like that. And you have patience. So it's like having patience with yourself. Have patience. And that's the whole thing too, is that striving, and that's what I was gonna say. Striving to become, I have to be this or I'm nothing. And it's like, no, I just started enjoying the moments. And that's what patience is about, right? The moon asked about her luminosity, said, I am a master of patience. So it will happen, perhaps not exactly as you imagined it, perhaps far better, but it will happen. Have patience during the in between when you can't see the results of your hard work and diligent investments. There are forces moving on your behalf far beyond the realms of sight. Trust them. They are bringing you precisely, with divine timing, what you need to bring your soul into the fullest expression of itself. Wow. I love that for you, Sudeshna. All right. So that's what they have for that one for you. Thank you again for your multiple donations. I appreciate those. All right. I think that is it for the donations. Let me check one other place here. All right. We are set. All right, so let's jump back into the free readings. See here. So we had left off here with Ateshi Singh at 140 even. All right. There we go. Anyone know what was Hugh Lee's approach towards me today? We went to lunch together during break, friends are saying. It's a date? Oh, but I wanna know if he saw you as potentially more than a friend coworker today. Alright, let's take a look here. So you guys went to lunch and people are like, "Oh, you went on a date?" And you're like, "I don't know if that was a date." If they didn't make it clear it was a date, then it wasn't a date. But let's take a look here to see what we have here. So we do have the 8 of Pentacles, which is work, work, work energy. And we have the 3 of Swords, which is expectations equal disappointment here. So I don't feel here, let me get you one underlying energy here too, because that's what I was giving everyone. I want to be fair here. Yeah, even the bottom of the deck, we've got the 4 of Swords, which is about letting expectations go, and even the Maiden of Swords, which is, clarity, having clarity below the surface. That's in here. But I don't feel like this particular one right now that they're in that place. They see more work. And I feel like there's this energy there, like I, I don't feel like they want to date someone at work anyway, because it's just a bad idea. Because if things don't work out, then it's awkward, and then there's that, uh, energy. It's funny because they're bringing back to me they just touch a memory. They just bring back things as an example just because it's helps us understand things as humans. We're big storytellers, right? But when I worked in this big corporation in the very beginning, in the first building we worked in, there was like this we were on, like, the 2nd floor, and the cafeteria, you went over and it dropped down to where you could look down in the cafeteria, and you could walk around. So on this side, there was people and desks, and then we were on this side too. Majority of us were over here. They had, like, specialty groups over on the other side. Well, we shared cubicles, and I shared a 3 cubicle with, 2 other people, and, it just so happened that the person one of the individuals that shared the 3 with me was actually dating the ex of one of the people across, and they had not let him go yet, and we would I would turn over to talk to her, and I'd look, and they were standing over there staring, I mean, daggers that were staring there, and it was like, "Ooh," and then they broke up, and so then they both were looking at the other person. So it was like I said, awkward. So not a good idea, um, dating at work, right? But I feel like that's where they're coming from. I mean, we all can have our own decisions and our own priorities and everything. There's no supposed to be or should be's, but that's where they're coming from. I feel like they're like, this isn't a good idea. I've had it before. It didn't end well. I don't want, I'm kind of put people in a friend zone at this point. Yeah. We got healing herbs as your fortune cookie, which says, nature provides, use its gift for healing. So I feel like they are kind of recovering. Again, that's that energy of recovering from some bad situations before, dating someone at work. And so I feel like they're kind of like, no, thank you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Ateshi. So many blessings to you. Going a little deeper into free readings tonight since we're a little lighter than we normally are. So I'm just giving you guys a little extra Christmas cookie treat. All right. And then we got Happy Pill. Hey, Happy Pill, welcome on. Got you added on to the list here. Good to see you. All right. So I am Shailene. Hey, hey. Let's grab your timestamp here. So this is for your free reading here. And you said you want to know when you'll be in a committed long-term relationship as well, but I also currently in the hospital. I'm wondering if I'll meet my goals you'll donate for the loved one. Okay. So we're going to focus in on the hospital and um I'm currently in the hospital and wondering if I'll meet my goals. So will you meet your goals, uh, hospital related goals? Let's take a look here. Based on current energies, I do want that. Okay. And looks like you get an extra one here. And then the bottom of the deck. Oh, I see. So they have the Knight of Cups, movement of love energy. They're like, um, so definitely I feel like there's gonna be movement of, love energy, and I feel like they're saying that, yeah, it's probably a good idea to get a reading on that. So this other card would be your for this hospital one, you got the 3 of Pentacles, which does have to do with, like, being true to your authentic self, creativity, but also support, I feel here. So I do feel I like that energy regarding the hospital goals that you're going to get some extra support that you haven't been getting, and that's going to make a difference for you. I feel like you might feel like you're doing something on your own, but you're going to suddenly feel out of nowhere like, oh, wow, thank you, kind of energy. Underneath the surface, you have the Eight of Swords and there is this Eight of Swords is about letting go of thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that don't serve you anymore. And it's a good flowing, letting go of some limiting beliefs, some things that make you feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small and worthless. So there is letting go of some mindsets. And I feel like you've been doing that. And I feel like whatever's been coming up, these challenges here at the hospital, I feel you're like, okay, um, we can sometimes get stuck in a mentality that this is the way things work and these are the way things don't work. If it has to do with like if it's if it's a job or even if it's something going on with our physical bodies, we can get we can know too much about things where we get stuck in a belief like, oh, this is the way it works. Even though it's like, well, medically, it's funny because I've been having a lot of different individuals and my host who she's in the medical field and has been in different things. Um, but because she knows so much medical stuff that if anything happens, we can get stuck in a like, well, this is what that means. And it's like, it doesn't have to mean that though. You're like, well, on average, usually, but she's the kind of person where it's gonna if this would only impact 3%, chances are they might experience that, but that's also a belief, right? But I'm like, "You're not normal," is what I tell her. "You're not normal, so why do you wanna go off of what everyone says is the norm?" Like, "True," and that's the whole thing that's coming in here is, "Yeah, let me question these stories," right? But let's see here. So based on current energies, those are all the underneath the surface. Will you meet your goals? You do have the Five of Swords. It's a little bit of conflict between your head and your heart coming in here. And the Magician. Here's that you hold the power energy here. So there is great possibilities. And it makes sense with the Eight of Swords. Your mind is then battling with your heart and your body. It's your mind has these stories that it attaches, and it's like, is that true? Is that really true? The magician energy tells us whatever I focus on is what grows and expands, right? So if I focus in on what like all my expectations, I'm going to be focusing on what's not happening, right? Okay, I've done this and this, but this isn't done. This isn't done. I need this to happen. That need and that want and that focus on what's not going well brings in more of the not and the instead of what is, right? That's what happens with expectations. So this energy that's coming in here is this, and that makes sense with the Knight of Cups too. The movement of the heart, the gratitude, right? Where I'm going to focus on what is going well. What do I feel is a blessing? What am I grateful for? As I do that, then that gives the ability to hit the and it's not even so much goals, because goals are kinda like expectations, right? It's like, "Oh, I need to have this happen or else." It's like, if I focus in on that, I push it further away, I make it harder for it to come toward me, right? Because again, I'm focused on what the gap. Here's my expectations. Whoops. Here's my expectations, and all I feel like I'm behind. I have to go all here just to get to 0, and I'm focusing on lack, and what that does, it makes it harder to get up to 0, right? If I start off with no expectations and I'm just like, "You know what? It's gonna take as long as it's gonna take. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. You know what? I surrender. I'm just gonna focus on what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for this." All of this is abundance. When I have no expectations, no goal, and I know we're taught, "You must have a goal to achieve." It's like, no, it actually makes it harder. When we focus on gratitude, that is more powerful energy. The other ends up being fear of not reaching a goal, but we focus on gratitude for what has happened. That just expands very fast and draws things in, right? So, kinda like I was talking about, earlier about my job, right? And maybe that's why they were bringing in that job energy, because it's like, when I try so hard, I push it away. When I'm grateful and I am focusing on joy and laughter and playing a higher vibration, then I draw things in. So I feel like they're saying, there's a lot of possibility to get to the point where you can, be released and get back to living the life that your body expressing itself at its higher, vibration and abilities. The magician card is all about, you hold the power. Whatever you focus on is what grows and expands. So I feel like that's a good sign. At least it's not like, no, you will not. There's no way. You're delirious. No, no. It's like, there is possibility of doing that, but it's not about in focusing on the goal. It's focusing on progress that you've made, and what are all the things that you love, and are grateful for, with your experience, right? Your fortune cookie is the elf enchantment, which talks about focus. It says, focus on your goals. Let intentions guide you to success. So it's okay to focus on your goals, but not, uh, but focus on the gratitude around what goals have been accomplished, is what they're saying. Because intentions are very important. You can't make it up talking about goals. But they wanted to say it's okay to focus on goals. Don't beat yourself up. We can desire, like, I do, creator. I would love to, be healthy enough where I could be out of the hospital. That's my goal. Now I'm going to focus on the gratitude around everything else, right? So we can ask once of creator. They have a great memory. We don't have to ask them every day, because if we keep asking every day, it starts becoming want and need, which is lack energy, which pushes things away. So hopefully I didn't beat that uh, into the ground too much there. All right. So that's what they have for your free reading there. So, if you like, is that if you want to make a donation for love, you can do that, or we can, if you want to wait until another session, now that you have found again, you can do a free one. Well, we won't dive quite as deep tonight. We're just very light, so I'm doing a little more deeper into the free readings, but the weekends tend to be a little more full. So I will be back to like just the 1, 2 card readings for free readings over the weekend, just an FYI. Probably. All right, Tanya Hikes, you are up. 153.53. Look at that. Repeating numbers. So, Tanya, here are your time stamps. And I am doing well. I hope you're doing well. Cheers, cheers to you. A general reading. Yes, absolutely. All right, I'm going to move my. Sorry, Tanya. There is a message in here of switching that from whence you're drinking from. Here's, oh my gosh, this has been how many hours? A couple hours. I've been seeping this green tea for a couple hours. This is gonna be strong green tea. We'll put it in here and heat that back up and finish up the coffee. and move on to something different. So there's a message in that for you just with that happening in this moment for you because they didn't have me wait. So we got these, and then what about under the surface? Thank you. And then the bottom of the deck. All right. Yeah. It's interesting that you got the Lover's card, which is like the 2 of Cups. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, the 2 cups, there's something that's empty and done, and there's something that's heating up, and it's like there's this change. It could be emotional energy, it could be emotional choice, but if we're looking for anything around romance, it does feel like, um, even on the even on the back of the cards, we have got 2 cups. um, with all this, and 2 of wands is the underlying energy that they gave me here. So power of choice really is huge for you coming in with your reading here. That's just crazy. Let's see what the original 2 cards are. You got the Emperor, power of choice energy, and that comes in with the Emperor. It's Aries energy, fire, something heating up, but it also is the Emperor going, you know what? A lot of people are telling me who I should be, what I should do, what decisions I should make, a lot of self-appointed advisors, and this is clearing the throne room, going, "What is it that I want? What is it that my heart wants?" Then I make a decision, I put a plan together, and then I take action. So it's about I'm not at the whim of everyone else. I'm the emperor of my life. I get to decide. I gotta live it. There you go. It's like being at a giant dinner table. Everyone's telling you what you should eat, and we're already sharing appetizers. But the meal I'm going to order, only I'm going to eat in this scenario. Thank you, everyone, for your opinion on what I have to eat, but I got to eat it, so I'm going to choose, right? That's that kind of energy. And the other one is the Justice card. Yeah, the area of relationships. Libra, um, you know, rules over the house of relationship. And this is this balancing energy. It is an energy of letting some old mindsets go, looking at things from a higher perspective to cut things away. So we definitely have that here. What's interesting too, in some tarot decks, you've got this is card number 8 in this one. Normally it's these days it's number 11. In the original, the Justice card was 8, Strength card was 11, but in later times, they were swapped out. And that's what's funny with this whole swapping out of the cups energy. So, I don't know, it just feels like if you are wondering about relationship energy, and it can be if it's not romantic, it can be a different type of relationship, friend, family, or something like that too. It doesn't have to be romantical. But I definitely feel this is relationship oriented, and it's about realizing I'm gonna make a choice for me and not, for, um, what everyone else wants. I gotta live with this and interact with this person. I get to choose, and I like that for you. So, I feel like that's what they have here. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. Giving you a little Christmas fortune cookie. You got the dancing leaves. Embrace change. Let the winds of transformation guide you. All right. There you go. All right. So that's what they have for you, Tanya. Hopefully that resonates for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then we have Kat Mia. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. All righty. Will your SWD cross OBN within the next 2 to 3 years? If not, how can I cross OBN within the next 2 to 3 years? All right, let's take a look here. So we'll do one card will be will you, and then the other card will be if not, how and when. I feel like that's going to be your underlying energy too. And then the bottom of the deck. Well, we do have the Knight of Cups, which is movement of emotion. It is the quest for something to do with your heart. Um, so I do feel like there's movement. Uh, energy with the knights. I like that. Water movement, if that feels like something moving below the surface. I'm not sure what the initials and stuff mean. I don't have to. So just know that if I'm speaking vaguely, it's because Bretta Zen doesn't know it. I'm just bringing through what spirit is regarding your question here. Will it be within the next 2 to 3 years? You have the Maiden of Swords, which is the Page of Swords. There's clarity that comes in here, and I feel like there is new information. This is of the mind. It's movement of the mind, change of mind that's coming in. Sorry, let me just update this here. There it goes. So there is this again enlightenment kind of energy with it between the this next 2 to 3 years. I feel like there's a lot of clarity that you gain. Let's see here. What's this other card? If not, how can you do it? Yeah, they have the Five of Swords. Something that helps here is being open-minded. And this makes sense here because I feel like what based on current energies, I feel like they're saying there's um like conflict in this next 2 3 years where it doesn't quite go over cross cross um over there, but it's because there's mindsets that need to change. There's some clarity that comes in, and if we're open-minded and even open-hearted, follow your gut, follow your instinct, because we can get so caught up in the mind that we're like, no, this is how it has to be. We can become blinded where we don't see opportunities of having change done because we're so caught up going, no, 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 this is it. But if we're like, well, what if? Let's just think outside the box. Follow your intuition, follow your gut. I feel like the heart leads us in a direction that we're like, "Oh, wow." And then it is possible within the 2, 3 years, but if you stay kind of, like, stubborn in a certain belief, then it doesn't. Below the surface, yeah, the devil card. So it is a lot about shaking and getting out of long-held beliefs going, it's like one of those things where we all believed that, I don't know. I'm thinking of like an old medical something or other where, they were like, "Oh, you shouldn't shower every day because it you get sick," Or, "Yeah, you shouldn't be wet out in the cold because that's what gives you the flu or whatever." And it's like, "No, that's not true." They found out later, "No, that's not true." But it was such a held belief that the mind brings you the proof of things when based on the story you're telling it, it will show you all the proof, but it won't show you the proof that doesn't support it. So when we're open-minded, we can see opportunities and uh, of things that aren't normally we normally wouldn't see, if that makes sense. All right, so hopefully I didn't totally confuse you. But you got the firefly dance. Yeah, fireflies. They used to have believe fireflies were because it's stars that fell from the sky. Now we understand the liquid that's in fireflies. Celebrate life's moments. Let your spirit shine like the stars. Yeah. So, and that's something else too. The more I focus on what I'm grateful for, the more things grow. The more I focus on what's not happening, that shrinks things. So it's also um, a little extra information that's coming in there as well. Because if I'm focusing on lack of progress, I get more lack of progress. When I am grateful for the progress that has been made, then more progress happens easier, more easily, or however you say it. All right. So that's what they have for you, Kat Mia. Hopefully that is helpful. Many blessings to you. You're very welcome, Livier. All the Christmas stuff. And you're welcome, Shailene. Mm-mm. Oh, I know, right? Yay. All right. All right. And then Aunt Rose, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. My Aunt Rose. I'm glad you like the hat. I chose a black one. I wear a lot of black instead of the red one. I also have a black tourmaline, so this just helps transform energies. Black is it's the presence of all colors, right? At least in art. In science, white is the presence of all color. Isn't that interesting? All right. Because of the prism, you know how it shoots light through a prism, then it goes into all the colors. Well, in art, if you like mix all the colors together, it turns black. So, anyway, perspective. All right, you want to know here any messages for you now that you're dating? Ooh, all right, let's take a look here. So, what do they want you to know? Okay, we got those. I feel like that's underline, and then the bottom of the deck. All right. So the bottom of the deck, you do have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords energy. Yeah, deceit, lying, deception, cheating. But this is fear energy, right? And the underlying energy is, you know, this is our thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that cheat us out of opportunities. And it is a fear energy, right? The fear of being betrayed, fear of someone lying, cheating. And if we have that fear, if we don't kind of bring it up and free ourselves from it, we'll keep drawing in experiences that will help us with that. I know. That was a lot of my stories. If you listen to my podcast, The Easier Path, I think it's episode 2. I talk about how, growing up with a belief in the people cheat and people this is what happens. I feared it and I drew in experiences with it. But I'm glad I did because it freed me from it. Something that I'd been living with a lot in my life. So I feel like that's an important energy to be aware of. Not that this is a prophecy that this person's going to do it. It's just a good awareness, knowing that is this what's bubbling below the surface? If it is, let's bring it forward so that it doesn't have to be brought forward in the outside world. If we bring it forward, we can question our fear, transform it, and be released from it. Then we don't have to experience it. But if we don't do it ourselves, then it will be brought for us forward, right? Underneath the surface, yeah, I mean, the Ace of Pentacles. This is a brand new, abundant experience with dating coming in here, seeing your worth in a different way in relationship to the outside world differently, realizing you're defined inward and upward, this priceless um, being of, rooted in unconditional love, eternal unconditional love by the higher realms. That's very solid foundation, not by what people do or don't do, say or don't say in the outside world. Your worth comes from in here, right? Underlying energies. Your 2 cards that normally come out, yeah, the 4 of Cups. Yeah, you're ready to have a different type of love. You don't wanna be doing what you've always did and getting what you've always gotten. You're ready for something else. I just read today, Einstein's the one that said, "You can't solve something in the same mindset of what created the problem." And here's that 7 of Swords. Yeah, I can't stay in this mindset and expect a different result. I gotta change my mindset. I'm gonna clear this out for me because I don't want to keep doing what I've always done and just, have the relationship be bored with it. I'm ready for something higher, higher vibrational love, right? So it's definitely worth it here for you. Yeah, and the Maiden of Swords. So Page of Swords, new way of looking at things, seeing things from a higher perspective, seeing things from a place of unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and gratitude instead of fear of failure, fear of rejection. You know, this long list of stories about, relationships, who someone is supposed to be, what they're supposed to bring to the relationship, how a relationship is supposed to begin and progress and end up, and what is it supposed to bring me, and who am I supposed to be in the relationship? It's exhausting, right? And when we're in that mindset, we're always focusing on what's not happening and, doing the little checklist of, oh, is this happening? Yeah. Is that happening? No. Is that happening? Yes. Is that happening? Yes. Is that happening? No. We end up focusing on the knots instead of what am I grateful for in a situation. But I do feel like they're pointing you to that beliefs below the surface that might be running on autopilot, or you might be fully aware. Oh God, I know that's one of my biggest fears, being cheated on. But as we question those and transform them, we're free from them, right? Yep, you got pixie dust, the magic. Is your fortune cookie. It says, add a touch of magic. Let your dreams take flight. Yeah, not our fears, not our nightmares, but our dreams. What am I grateful for, right? So hopefully that helps, Aunt Rose. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Happy Pill, you are up. Here is your timestamp. There we go. And a general reading for you. All right. Let's take a look here. Got that. We got that. It's the underlying energies. Okay. I do have that. And then below the surface, what do we have happening here? Bottom of the deck, you do have the Nine of Swords. You got bat energy here. The Nine of Swords is known as the Nightmare and Insomnia card, but also is I feel like this echoing energy from the bat, which is these echoes are showing you where your fears are at. And the nine is an energy of like, I'm like virtually on exhaustion of trying to please everyone, live up to all these expectations. The 10 is like, I'm done. Usually someone laid down with 10 swords in their back. They're not dead, they're exhausted. They're like, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm just done. I'm not going to live up to try to please everyone. Nine of swords is like you're on the verge of that, of going, I'm like so tired of feeling disappointed or feeling like I'm a disappointment or both. And I'm ready for change coming in here. Has to do with mindsets, the Nine of Swords, mental energy. Underneath the surface here, you had the World card, which is an ending of a major cycle, beginning of a new adventure, very positive energy, which goes right in along with that because the next card, we start over back at the Zero card, the Fool card, which is about not having expectations, looking at the world as full of possibilities. So there is this release of that's coming up of like, I'm done. I want to choose what I want from my heart, not from what everyone else has told me I'm supposed to be, supposed to do, should do, and all that. Yeah, the Maiden of Wands, Page of Wands, which is a new passion, a heightened passion. Where's your passion? Where's your excitement drawing you? Follow that, right? And the Queen of Cups, follow your heart. Yeah, she rules over the heart. Queen of Cups, motion energy, but all the queens get another portion of cups. So she's 2 times emotional energy. So both of these, follow your heart, follow your passion, where it's leading you. Get out of your head, follow your heart. You don't have to figure out your entire life today. It's where's my heart and my excitement? Where is it leading me in my life right now? Follow that, live that. And I really like that. They're bringing in, there's Daryl Anka. He channels an extraterrestrial energy called Bashar, and they have like a formula of living and enjoying life and abundance of life, and it's follow your passion, do the most you can with your passion and your excitement, um, and let that be your focus. And that's like the formula for that's what they learned in their society in another dimension, other solar system. They went through it all and they're like, this is the secret. Follow your passion, follow your excitement, not trying to do everything that everyone else thinks you should. That restricts, but doing the other is what helps grow. And your fortune cookie is this Moss Fairies Tranquility. Seek the Moss Fairies Sanctuary. Find peace and tranquility in her verdant domain. Yeah. And it reminds me of Empress energy because she does, in the major arcana, she is the first, number 3, and then the Emperor's number 4, and then Hierophant number 5. The emperor can represent the rules of society. Everyone must do this. And the Hierophant is the rules of organized spirituality. You must do this. The Empress is like, "I'm running free before all that happens. I'm running through the forest free to do what I want." Running and being ruled by nature's laws, which are very few compared to man and, you know, organized kind of spirituality and religions, all those rules, right? So I like that kind of freedom that comes in here. So hopefully that resonates for you right now. Happy Pill. That's what they have for you. So many blessings to you. All right. Actually, I think I'm all kind of just whoop. I think I'm done. I think that was everyone here. Let me just make sure I want to miss anyone here. I think that's all of the free readings and all of the donations. Let me check my chat, my emails. Yep, I think we are good. Let me check one other place. We might have an earlier session this evening. Sometimes, as the elevator's doors close, if I pause for a moment, someone's running down the hall to catch the elevator. Let's see here. Oh, let me go back one here. There we go. Yep, I don't see anything out there. So, um, I will, of course, be here tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., tomorrow night as well. Hey, Delcy Joy. Didn't get anything yet. I don't see you anywhere in the chat either, right? Let me see here. Did you just send something through? See, the elevator I've sent someone was headed our way. I don't see anything up in the chat, so it must be just being sent through right now. So if you sent a donation, it's not showing coming through yet, but you know how things can go slow. Let me get mail, get mail. Nope, nothing yet. But I don't see anything anywhere. So if you do have a free question, pop it out there. Oh, and Sudeshna just made a donation as well. Green dot earlier. Let's see here. Do I see a D anywhere? Huh. Green dot. Yeah. I don't show it in my chat anywhere. Let me check over my other live session here just to see if it popped up over there. No, I don't see it anywhere. I also looked just for your D up and down there just to make sure my little eyeballs aren't zeroing in there, but I don't see anything, Delcy. So maybe YouTube chose to not show it here. Yeah, no, it jumps here. 640, let's see, 644. And then Deb made a donation, and then it's 648. So I'm not seeing it on my side. Maybe yeah, and I have live chat, so I see all the chats. Yeah. Go ahead and repost it. And I'll make sure we get you squared away here. So sorry. It happens every once in a while. All right. Very good. So that's a free reading, right? All right. So I'll add you to the free list here, Delcy. Shailene, to use PayPal, if you go into the description box of this video, if you scroll down, it tells like how all the free readings work. You'll see little separated out. It's got a link to the PayPal. It's got Venmo and all that too. But if you click on the PayPal, it should, go and take you over there, I believe. But it has my PayPal ID there. And that's what you do. And then because I think the little link that's down there in PayPal is actually, um, I think it's a link to the donation area. Let me just double check here. So sorry. It would be just a sec, guys. Why isn't it showing? Oh, it's probably because I'm on mine. I'm on my ID, not like a personal ID. That's probably why it's not showing me things like everyone else. That makes sense. All right, but it should be self-explanatory down there. But of course, you might be on drugs too, which makes it extra challenging, I know. All right. All right. So I'm gonna jump up here. So I'll be back to yours here in a moment, Delcy. I see it now. Um, it did come through about your wallet, so we'll look at that. But for this one, Sudeshna, thank you so much for your additional donation. Here are all of your timestamps. Let's give that a love and a like here. There we go. All right, this is for Sumita and Arnab. Okay, so how's the match? Is he the one for her? Let me grab some hot tea real quick here. All right. So Arnab, how is the match? Okay, based on current energy. I think when we pulled her before, because we're talking about destined, I don't feel like she had a destined one match. If she goes this route, she ends up with this person. If she goes this route, she ends up with this person. If she goes makes these choices, she ends up with someone else, right? So I don't feel like there is a destined one for her. Like it's absolutely going to be one particular person. It has to do with the power of choice for her in this lifetime. Um, so that's the answer to that kind of piece of it. Will things move forward? So will things move forward? Um, and if yes, when? We'll pull a card for that. Will they end up getting married based on current energies? And what else? I feel like what else do you need to know about this here? We'll look at those. And so we'll pull from the when card here. So if things move forward, when would it be? Okay, that's the one there. All right, let's take a look here. So how's the match between the two of them here? We got the Seven of Swords ooh, and the Ace of Pentacles. Seven of Swords is a little bit of thievery. Oh, it's kind of can be betrayal and loss energy. Ace of Pentacles, I feel like they're saying, yeah, I don't know if this is a good match. I just feel like there's some hidden things here with this one too, with the Seven of Pentacles. Let's see what other energy we have here. Will things move forward? I got a very, very slow energy coming here. When would this happen? Knight of Pentacles, even slow energy, slowest moving night out of them all. This is April 20th to May 20th, August 23rd. Turd. There you go. Crappy. 3rd, April 23rd to September 22nd. Feels like it's a very slow one here. Will they get married? Oh, I got 3 of cups. Third party energy, there's someone else. The 7 of swords is that betrayal energy. 3 of cups. It doesn't feel like this is a good match. I don't feel like it's going to move forward here. And we got the 8 of pentacles. Keep moving forward. Got the 5 of wands. Yeah, there's a lot of yeah, fives, all these conflicting energies. 5 of cups, 5 of wands. Fives are that change and conflict. The 8 of pentacles, it's like it's too much work. This one here, it just doesn't feel this doesn't feel like a good one here. This just feels like too much conflict. There's a third. It's like there's another option that's out there that they're more interested in. Um, and it's good. It's good that they are. It's like, "You have them. You take my problem, not my potential." You know, I just feel like this is a I mean, just all of this energy coming in here, third party, energy coming in, and betrayal energy and conflict energy. I just feel like and it's slow, slow, slow. It takes so long to get there. It just feels like the slowness is happening on purpose. Um, with all of this here. Yeah, even this death, the death card underneath the 4 of swords, on the bottom of the deck. It's just, put the mind at rest, let that go. I just feel like, no, this is not a good match unless you wanna learn about feeling betrayal, which, I learned the hard way several times, so, no judgment here, but if that's I'm like, "No, I think I'll pass on that." Let's see what the fortune cookie brings into. Yeah, I got dancing around. This feels like I'm getting like a Bollywood movie, it's like, "Oh, it's all dreamy and look at it we break into a dance, in the middle of the the scenario," and it's like, that's a facade, it's an illusion, right? And that's what it feels like here. It says, "Dear ones, anoint this earth with dance. Dance the rhythm of your joy, dance the dirge of your pain. Dance your hopes and fears with wild abandon. Move your body in the ecstasy of release, knowing that greater holds you in the womb of its love, and that your very cells dance with the pulse of that embrace. Forget all else and dance yourself free." I like that. Again, this energy of play and joy and dance is kind of coming in here with the when we got with her before, right? Playfulness, dance, get out of the head, get out of the, "Oh, what about this? What about that?" It's like bring in your joy, bring in your presence, because that's what takes forward, right? So hopefully that helps a little bit. you know, I would definitely avoid that bullet there based on those energies. But if we want a harder path, we'll go in all in, right? All right. So, Delcy Joy, thank you so much. So sorry that I don't know what happened here. It's not there. I know sometimes I can be blind, but I did look very thoroughly, and for some reason, every once in a while, they do have. Some people go, "Did you see mine? I don't see it anymore." I'm like, "No." Sometimes it must be overloaded, and it knocks out a question or something every once in a great while, or there's a word in it that you know for some reason it didn't like it at the moment. Who knows, right? But thank you for your patience, Delcy, and thanks for speaking up and not going, "Hey, you didn't do my reading." And I'm like, "I don't see it." All right. Did someone take your wallet out of your purse or did you drop it? All right, let's take a look here. And then, oh, someone tried to do that. Oh, wow. Okay. So let's take a look here. And what else do they want you to know here? Got that and that, and then the bottom under here. All right. So did someone steal it or did it drop out? Let's look at that first. We do have the Four of Wands, which is kind of a joy and celebration energy here. So that doesn't feel like stealing energy. That feels more like, you know, I dropped it. I'm in a distractive kind of, celebration kind of energy. And bloop, it kind of feels like it was dropped, not stolen out of there. The bottom of the deck, we do have the 5 of cups, which represents, of course, conflicting emotional energy, and I get that. What else do they want you to know here? Yeah, and the emotional energy, the Lovers card, it's emotional choice energy, and the underlying energy is fear, 9 of swords. So, I feel like, this is one of those hard things where, I like that they tried it, right? Um, but they didn't succeed, hopefully. Um, oh, wow. Isn't that funny that it's like, they it fell out and they happened to grab it, right? But there is this, you know, power of emotional choice. The 5 of cups normally has 3 spilt cups, and behind the person in the card, there's the 2 cups, and the Lover's card is the emotional choice, like the 2 of cups energy. And there is this, it's always this wonderful opportunity for us, right? It's all life is always happening for us. And it's like when we have something happen, like with finances or things like that, and we're like, oh my God, we can choose fear and we can choose lower vibration, or we can, you know, choose to go, why did I want this to happen for me? It's not happening to me. When it's happening to me, if I have a story that it's happening to me, then I go into the victim role. And then there's a villain sitting behind me in church, right? And then who's the hero? Where's the cop that's going to go arrest them and take them away? Or we can go, all right, instead of being in that energy that just draws in more of that same energy and takes me in a downward spiral, if I can choose to go, "You know what? What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that they tried and that it didn't go through, right?" Yeah, they hit the jackpot, right? But it's like, did it go through? And, you know, what am I grateful for? If it didn't go through, then I'm grateful that it didn't go through, that someone caught it, and wow, you know, I didn't have to go through all this. And yeah, maybe I need to get a new debit card. I need to cancel that and get a new one. But maybe that stopped something else from happening later, right? That, someone else has that number, they got that number somehow, and they were planning on doing something, but now this kept it from happening. We never know, and it's like that trusting. That's what's happens in life is for us for some reason. We always learn, we always grow, we always experience, through something. But it's the power of choice of energy that's coming in here, and it's like, you know, I like your, Delcy joy, laugh, laugh, right? It's have joy, and you're like, yeah, they got the jackpot, woohoo! But just know that there is, underneath it all, they have the 10 of Pentacles and the Empress, which is about abundance and fulfillment and gratitude. What am I grateful for in this situation? It teaches us that the outside world, people's actions or non-actions, their words or their silence, they don't determine my worth. They don't determine my abundance, right? I get to decide the story of what things mean, the emotional soundtrack I'm going to play behind that story, and all of that. So I like that message there for you, but I feel like it just dropped out, and then they were like, "Oh," but I don't feel like they like stilled it. It did not go through, right? Gratitude, because trying to get the money back, they're like, "Oh, well, we have to open this and do this," but because it was denied, at least we avoided that hassle. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in too. Yeah, Dreamweaver, beautiful card. Craft your reality. Let your imagination shape your world. And it does, right? What world do I want to create? Because I'm the one creating it, right? I can create it, a world of people can't be trusted, or we can create a world that I am divinely protected, divinely guided. Thank you, for this not happening. So I like that. Yes, right? All right. So that's what they have for you, Dulcie. Thank you again for your patience there and getting to your reading, and many blessings to you. Right. So, Shailene, I don't think I got anything here. Let me just make sure here. Nope. So, Shailene, if you're still here and you're trying, let me know because I don't have anything else. For anyone else, if you haven't got into our drawing yet, next week is the new moon in Sagittarius. Every 2 weeks, I do have a drawing to give away a 30-minute personal recorded reading or a hedge of peace and love, whatever the winner ends up wanting. This is the link for it. It's always down in the description box of the video, too, on how to get into the drawing, which will be next week already. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Also, all of my personal readings and which is my live and recorded readings, and my Hedges of Peace and Love are all on sale for the next couple weeks still. I can't believe we're almost to the end of the year. Through New Year's Day, I plan on changing right now. It's on my calendar, change my pricing back on January 2nd. So if you're interested in getting those, now's the chance to get them at a special price. Also, if you haven't had enough of Bread to Zen and you want some more messages from Spirit, I've got a podcast called The Easier Path. We just came out with my newest episode. It's like every 2 weeks as well, called The Unicorn of Love. And so this is the link to my most recent one, but there's also a playlist in the description box. Or if you click on my name and go to my main channel page, it's at the top. There it'll show podcast for The Easier Path. So you can catch up on all those as well. And I'm excited. Also, don't tell anyone. But Christmas weekend, if you hung out Halloween weekend or Thanksgiving weekend, I had giveaways every session that we had, um, where I give away two 15-minute personal recorded readings, one from the donations and one from the free readings. So I'm going to have that coming up on Christmas too. So I'll be here Christmas Day night, the 25th, and then that's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday morning, like normal. So I'll be giving away at least 10 15-minute personal recorded readings that weekend coming up too. And I'm thinking of something for New Year's Day. I probably because New Year's Eve is a Wednesday, so I won't be on that. But New Year's Day evening, so January 1st, I'll probably have a special giveaway that night. I'm probably not going to do it all again and give away another 10. I'll probably just do something special on New Year's Day night. If that makes sense. All right. So I'm excited. I do love giving things away. Probably will continue to do the new moon and full moon giveaways going into next year. It's kind of I'm gonna sit with Spirit and see what for 2016 can 2016. Yeah, we're gonna go back and go back in the time machine. 2026. Gosh, I still remember when I was a young lad and we were like, there was this uh, TV series called Space 1999, and we were like, ooh, it was about moon bases on the moon and aliens and different things, and we're like, wow, that's what it's going to be like in 1999. Then 2000 hit, and we're like, no, that's not it. And here we are, 2026. Time surely flies. All right, everybody. Well, that's my little stories. I don't see any other donations or any other free questions. So I'm going to shut down for this evening. I will be back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So if you like to join me then, I'll be back. And then, of course, tomorrow night as well and Sunday morning. So until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the Mother and the Father of all things, our Creator. And of course, I love you guys too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Take care of yourself. We'll see you soon. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Ho, ho, ho. All right. We'll see you.